Now, if you were to follow me along on Facebook, you would notice I put up a couple of memes about how sometimes you have to leave people behind. Sometimes people just aren't ready to come on the journey that you're going on. And I wanted to explain a little bit about what that means. Now, you're going to have people in your life, and you know what? There's a possibility you're going to love them. But when you start to build yourself, when you start to move yourself forward, for the first little while, they'll be happy for you. After a while, though, you'll reach a point where you're doing something that they look at it and they go, how come I'm not doing that? And then they've got to make a choice. They'll reach a place where they need to make a choice on whether they're going to join you and move ahead in that way, or whether they think it's too hard and they just want to stay where they are, be comfortable. You know what? This has nothing to do with you. This is all them. This has nothing to do with how you are as a person, what kind of a person you are, what kind of a man you are. They need to decide their own direction. Everybody needs to decide their own direction. You cannot force somebody to go in a direction they don't want to go in. If you try to do that, they'll just resent you for it. Now, that being said, you're going to be in this situation. You may even love this person. You may want this person to come along on your journey and build themselves up so bad. You want the best for them, right? And that's perfectly fine. But they're not ready. They don't want to move forward. And they may even start to resent the idea that you're doing these things and making them feel bad because they're not. And they may start to decide to pull you down. I've ran into this situation myself. I've had people tell me that they think I work out too much, that it's not healthy, that I shouldn't be working so hard, that I need to take rest. And you look at these people and you realize that, they're not doing anything to pull themselves forward. It's got nothing to do with the fact that they think that you're working too hard. It's that they don't think that they're working hard enough. And they're not going to start. And seeing you do it makes them feel bad about it, so they try to pull you back down. And if they can't pull you back down, they're going to try to make you feel bad for doing what you're doing. They may even feel like you're trying to leave them behind, even though it's just that they're not willing to go where you're going. This kind of pushback in your life is not going to help you. You're trying to build, you're trying to move yourself forward. You cannot be captain of a boat where some of your crew are trying to drill holes in it and sink the ship. It doesn't work. If you reach that situation where you've got people on your crew that are trying to drill holes in your boat and sink the ship, you need to get rid of those people. It doesn't matter if you love them or not. It doesn't matter if you used to be great friends with them. It doesn't matter what your past relationships are. If they're trying to sink you, they can't come on the boat. It's a sad thing. Let me give you an example here. Drug addicts. Drug addicts hang out with drug addicts. Meth addicts hang out with meth addicts. When one meth addict starts pulling himself out, the other ones try to pull him right back. Right? They don't want to see him get out of it. They want to keep him there with them. They want to stay where they're comfortable in their drugs with their friends that they do their drugs with. They want everybody to stay in it. Nobody wants to see any of their friends get out of that. But if you want to get out of that, you have to get rid of those friends. I know that's a bit of a crazy analogy, but in all reality, it's exactly the same thing. If you're trying to move forward and you have friends that don't want to and they're trying to pull you back, you're going to have to leave them behind. Now, if you do make it and all of a sudden, 5 years down the road, they give you a call and they're like, I see the error of my ways. I should have joined you. I want to get on my way now. Feel free, help them out. When they're ready for it, you help them out. But you can't help someone who's not ready. And if you do, I hate to say it, but you're wasting your time. And you can't waste your time. You don't have that many hours in a day. You got to pick the battles you can win, and you've got to, when you're deciding to fight a battle that's going to be hard to win, you need to put everything into it, and you can't have distractions. And Brother, life is a battle. All of life is a battle. It's hard and it's cold and there's not much warmth out there, and you need to put as much into your life as you possibly can. And if you gotta waste any of that time trying to placate someone who just doesn't want to climb the ladder with you and they just want to stay where they're at, you gotta leave them there. It might sound rough, it might even sound painful, it might sound callous. But if you don't, the alternative is you stay there with them and you never get anywhere. So you gotta make your choice. If you need to leave those people behind, you gotta leave those people behind. Don't take saboteurs with you. You gotta work towards a brighter future, and if they're not ready for it, you gotta let them have what they are ready for. And if that's the case, sometimes you have to leave those people behind. Now, it doesn't mean you don't like them anymore. It doesn't mean you dislike them. It doesn't mean that you feel bad about them or that you feel less of them. They just weren't ready. And that's just human nature. People don't want to do hard things. The reason you don't see a lot of people doing hard things is because they're hard. If it was easy, everybody would do it. But in order to get yourself ahead, you have to do hard things. So you got to make your choice on whether you're willing to live with comfort or hardness. Interesting quote that I remember from, I can't remember where I read it, but I remember that it hit me pretty hard. And that was, if you always do the hard thing, you'll have an easy life. But if you always do the easy thing, you'll have a hard life. These are the trade-offs that we need to make. And if one of those trade-offs is you need to leave somebody behind in order to put yourself forward, brother, I'm sorry. I feel for you. But that's the choice you have to make. And if that's the choice you have to make, I hope you make the right one for you and your family and for society as a whole, because we need strong men and we need better men. So I hope you can do what it takes to build yourself up. If you do have to leave somebody behind, like I said, I'm sorry. But you have to do what you have to do for you. If down the road they decide they want to help you, feel free, help them up. We should be helping people when they want it. When they're ready for it, we should be helping them. It's not about climbing over people, it's about elevating society as a whole. So, I hope you're out there, everybody, all of you, writing the absolute best story you can and being the hero of that story. Building the best version of yourself that you possibly can. Doing the best for society that you possibly can. We need to be better. We need to build a stronger society. We need to bring our strength back. We need strength and masculinity, and we need to be better role models. We need to do this at the local community level, because that's where we need to build. That's where society is falling apart. All right, if you want to help us out with the video here, feel free to like, subscribe, comment on the video, share it around. Everything helps. The algorithm helps get the message out. If you feel like you'd like to help financially, feel free to go over to Patreon and become a patron. And if you feel like we're doing a good job only, and if you feel like I deserve it and that the message is worth it, please feel free to give a little bit and help us move forward. If you can't afford to do it, then please, I don't want your money. If you're working through things and you need that for yourself, please don't give it to me. I'm not that guy. If you do have it and you're looking to give it away and you think the message is worth it, then go over and become a Patreon. We would really appreciate it. Help the channel move forward. All right. So everybody just get out there, build, be the best version of yourself. Let's build the best society that we possibly can. All right. I love you guys.